Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets. I'm your host, Mohammed Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia, and the co author of New Success Secrets available on Amazon. On this episode, we have a special guest, Gul Singh. Gul is the partnerships lead UK at OSOME. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Gul Singh. Gul, welcome.
Hey, Mohammed, how are you? Thanks for having me on.
Let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
I suppose in my family, everyone's been quite entrepreneurial. My father was always finding ways to innovate, run small businesses. So from a young age, I've grown up in that hustler mentality, finding new opportunities, finding commercially viable goals, but also enjoying what you do. You know, that's really important. It's not about chasing money. It's about finding your passions and finding ways to, help solve a problem, because that's what business is. And yeah, my family, my dad has been huge inspiration, my uncles, my aunts, and my mother too. My mother has run a business when I was younger, and I used to help her out in some of those things. So yeah, they've always been quite inspiring for me.
What are the top three mistakes to avoid?
So I think firstly is something that's difficult for everyone, but we don't look at it enough, which is prioritization. So a lot of times everything seems urgent. A lot of time everything needs to happen today. When life, the biggest priorities are your family or your loved ones, and and your self well-being. But in a business context, it's important to have a clear vision as to what where the highest impact is, and really use your time well to prioritize effectively. The other thing, I suppose, is not thinking far enough. So the other thing would be to really think about how one wants to grow their product, their service offering, their logic as to how far you can think ahead, and then build a plan accordingly to get to that, and then have key milestones along the way. And it's okay to change, like some of that plan will change, but the key is to really have a long-term thinking strategy as to where one is looking to go and what they're looking to achieve, and modulate and pivot where needed along the journey. The third one I would say is too much self-reliance. I think it's good to always stay confident, is to always believe in one's ability. But at times, I think we can reach out, in my experience, with other inspiring people, talk to them, communicate more with the teams that one is in, to brainstorm ideas, or also find mentors. Very important to really expand a new area of knowledge that one can get.
What is your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
So I suppose there's a few, but the one that I'll look at is during the pandemic. I was consulting. I've been a startup consultant, and I found a new opportunity which I took. But sadly, because of the pandemic, everything kind of went in a backward zone. So people were more or less panicking. People were not sure what to do with the businesses, which is normal. So on my side, I was left with a massive gap as to how I'm going to create an earning, because I am used to being a contractor. So you don't necessarily get a 30-day notice. So I used that time to find areas where I can help. I started volunteering. I started finding ways to help the community. And through that idea of just giving, I found a space where I was able to help hospitals, other establishments access PPE. So I was able to not only do some moral good, but also find a way to be useful with my time, to help me commercially a little bit, but more so it was a project that I was very passionate about, and it was great working with some hospitals, but also really looking to be in a situation where you're trying to solve problems. And if you keep trying to solve problems, you will find the right people, you'll find the right opportunity.
What are the top three success secrets that others can model from?
I think so. Since I work in partnerships, and I'm a big believer in referral marketing and really having product contextual ways to find ways to get affiliates, utilize partnerships to bring value to audiences. Most important thing is to really bring value to each other, as to the affiliates, through the partners, and champion good practice in regards to whatever your product is offering. So for me, referral marketing is really important channel, especially with social media, is to building new ways to have engaging content to then drive value, and then over time help businesses open up new audiences for business. And then I suppose more so, I think it's important, which has been difficult for me, because is building a personal brand and being more out there, giving value to your audience, giving value to people that you respect, and more so being present in situations like this where you want to share, you want to learn, and being really open to the world. Something that I struggled with because I had a personal loss, which shook my confidence up. But I think it's important to stay active, especially if you're looking to grow your business, is to have more human touch to communicate what one does. And then I suppose I'm I rely heavily on my personal network. It's something that I've been growing quite a lot. So I think it's really important to have long-lasting relationships with colleagues, with previous business connects, with just people in general, because you never know when in life that individual could be of use, even in a business end. So that's something I'm very big on, and try to build relationships with people, as many as possible. Not only can I learn from them, but also it could be a perfect connect for a future opportunity and a current one.
Wonderful, wonderful. We are about to move into a lightning round. That means quick question and quick answer. Are you ready?
Sure.
What are you grateful for today?
I guess my mother. I'm always grateful for my mother, but she called me in the morning out of the blue, and it was good to speak to her. And I haven't spoken to her for not too long. We do keep in touch quite a lot. But yeah, I would say my mother, and it was a surprise call randomly in the morning we had.
How young are you?
Well, I guess I'm 31, but I feel a lot younger than that.
So, Gul,
And older at the same time.
Gul, you are not 31. You are 18 years old with 13 years experience.
Sure, fair enough.
What you want to do when you grow up?
Build amazing businesses that solve problems, but also to help societies where there's not enough resources given to them, and be part of helping people that can't have access to a lot of resource in impoverished communities, to help them, grow, as much as being an entrepreneur, solving business problems, growing there. But also, I think those communities are something that I'm really passionate about, to help them as well.
How do you overcome a challenge life throws at you?
Is to, I suppose, take the hit and digest it, and not run away from it, I suppose, firstly. And then secondly is to try and come to a position where one is calm enough to understand what the problem is, what the challenge is, and instead of running forward, take a step back, think about it, and then make a relevant plan to tackle the challenge. So being flexible is key.
How do you start your day?
Something that I've been doing recently is I'd think about things that I'm grateful for, I guess, and that's something that I've been doing not for that long, but over the last few months. It's something that puts me in a good mood, because I think there's many problems in this world, but there's many great things and experiences that we're lucky to have, and even the smallest ones are important to be thankful of.
What is the advice you will give to a younger yourself?
Keep going and keep pushing, and don't always heavily think about people's opinions. People's opinions are important, don't get me wrong, but not as a means to negatively impact one's mental health.
Once you have a revenue generating idea, how do you convince your significant other?
Well, would that be a partner, or would that be like
It could be your life partner, it could be your parents, it could be anyone, someone else.
Well, I suppose ultimately, firstly, you want to make sure you have a clear and simple way to explain how you're solving a problem, how it can be commercially viable to build. And I suppose before that, we're in the middle is how competitive, how saturated is the market.
Okay.
And once
Okay.
one can explain that in a very simple.
Go listen. Time out. Please listen
Sure.
to the question carefully. Once you have a revenue generating idea, how do you convince your significant other? Share your own experience. Don't tell other people what to do.
Got it. Okay, starting now. I suppose more so it's the energy. So for example, when we started a small e-commerce business, me and my friend, we got together. We were quite excited about how we can start a product-based business, and it was to try and see if he can match my energy, and we were able to kind of pretty much collect ideas together.
I'm going to ask this question again. And are you married right now?
No.
Okay. When you have any idea, who do you ask? Your mom, brother, sister, or parents?
Okay. I think I misunderstood the question. So
if you get, listen, Mike, very carefully. I need the answer to my question, please. If you have a revenue generating idea right now, how would you convince your significant other you really look up to?
okay, so I have a few of my very good friends that we discuss all sorts of different ideas with, and then naturally, first thing I would do is just share the idea, get them to basically share their opinions, and and then more or less look at that as a means of a convincer for me to invest more time into researching it, and then thereafter maybe involving someone I know in my network that could be interested to pursue it with me.
Understood. What is the impactful book you have read, and what did you learn from it?
So the book is this one, Sophie's World, by Justine Gardner. Sorry, there you go. So yeah, it's a book based on Eastern and Western philosophy. It really allowed me to understand the bigger meaning in regards to life, in regards to how to look at situations, how to look at oneself, and how, with the different learnings from the Eastern philosophy and Western philosophy, the different learnings in regards to just having a multi-dimensional way to looking at a problem. Because each problem, as cheesy as it sounds, does provide an opportunity, but how many different types of angles are you looking at that problem in to find the actual solutions is something that I got to, and I'm very interested in philosophy and psychology, so I personally enjoyed the book a lot.
Why being impactful is important to you?
I think I suppose we're given one opportunity or one life, I believe. So of course there's other, people's interpretation as to what happens after. But on my side, I strongly believe I've got one chance and I have to make it count. And also I want to make, as cheesy as it sounds, my mother proud. And, I want to make sure, that other people that don't have access to as much opportunity, one day I can also help those communities.
Who is your mentor and what is the impact?
So most recently, I've been working with Janice Edgar, who's an ex-MD at Accenture. And then the impact has been to really look at someone super experienced and see how they look at problems, essentially. And on my side, to really to understand problems and to kind of detach emotionally from them, to have various ways to look at different scenarios, prioritization, and just all around great minds to kind of share some wonderful things to which you wouldn't normally with your company or with other friends. And yeah, it's been a huge help to have someone that can give meaningful advice in a coaching sense, but also make us understand that there's more things always important in life than business. But so not to always take things too seriously, but serious enough, but not too seriously that it starts affecting one's mental health.
What do you want to be remembered for?
I suppose someone who helped solve problems in a business sense in regards to the software space, which I'm passionate about. But more so, I think if we're able to help a project that I'll be starting soon or one day, children access better education for financial well-being, for mental well-being, a younger age. That's an area I'm very passionate about. So something which I want to be remembered for, I guess, is someone who's helping children and younger generation have access to better education in regards to financial and mental well-being at an early stage in their life.
Who is your ideal client?
Someone who wants to grow their business, someone who's looking to add some of the services we provide to solve their problems, especially in a finance sense.
How can we support you?
Well, we provide a bookkeeping accounting software aimed at entrepreneurs, especially e-commerce sellers, and then we have market leading solutions, especially in the e-commerce space, for entrepreneurs to overtake the bookkeeping and accounting for them at very low cost, and having experts to add to your mix, and then that will free up time for the entrepreneurs to focus on sales, marketing, and product, whilst we make sure we're protecting how they're running the business on a finance sense. Sorry.
We are about to wrap up. I'd like to have your few words about your today's guest experience on the show. Here is my question. What would you say about your today's guest experience on the show?
It's been fun. It's interesting questions, to the point, and it's naturally I've heard good things about yourself and the book, and it's been fun.
What would you say as a final word?
Always think that even if things are difficult, there will be another day where you can find solutions to your problems. There's no such thing as an infinite problem. It's more so about having the tenacity to find solutions, and you will, if you really believe you can find it, and believe that one day you will.
Thank you so much, Gul Singh, for sharing your wisdom with us today. On the behalf of Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team, we really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes.
Thank you. Take care.